Self-Adhered Single-Ply TPO. Another emerging technology that also addressed many of the consultants' concerns with labor shortages, energy efficiency, and odors is self-adhered TPO membranes. These systems have recently come on the market, but are based on proven technology that has been used in the roofing industry for over a decade. They are already gaining popularity and market share as an alternative to both traditional single-ply as well as asphaltic systems.
You know what you have in terms of thickness and amount of adhesive there, whether it's stronger or not than a liquid adhesive seam becomes immaterial if there's not enough liquid adhesive there and it's not a stronger seam.
I think we've taken a lot of the variables out of it by having factory applied adhesives.
But as with all the new technologies reviewed, the consultants identified the following common mistakes, key concerns, and recommended solutions. Number 1, improperly attached insulation. Improperly attached insulation poses a potential danger to the integrity of any roof system. Improper insulation attachment can lead to potential punctures in the membrane, voids, and, in extreme cases, potential blow-offs. To assure insulation is properly attached and the fasteners are properly seated, it is important to carefully follow the manufacturer's installation instructions. Examine the insulation attachment prior to installing the membrane to assure all the boards and fasteners are properly seated and the substrate is flat and level. Number 2, dirt and debris on the substrate. Like improperly seated fasteners, trapped dirt and debris can cause punctures in the membrane. Debris can also compromise adhesion of the membrane to the substrate and result in voids. Voids can contribute to the potential for leaks or, in a worst-case scenario, can contribute to blow-offs. To avoid problems related to debris on the substrate, remove all dirt and debris prior to the installation of the membrane. This can best be accomplished by using a standard leaf blower to remove loose dirt and debris. A final inspection of the substrate prior to membrane installation will help achieve proper adhesion. Number 3, moisture on the substrate. Like dirt and debris on the substrate, the presence of moisture will also contribute to poor adhesion of the membrane. Adhesion problems related to moisture can range from minor blisters to major blow-offs. To avoid contamination, proper planning is imperative. Materials on site must be properly stored prior to and during installation, and installation should be halted during inclement weather. As a final quality measure, proper inspection of the substrate and replacement of any wet or damaged materials prior to the installation of the membrane will avoid problems related to moisture in the substrate. Number 4, low temperature installations. Normal and good roofing practice dictates special precautions when roofing in cold weather. Low temperature installations may lead to compromised adhesion of the membrane, and voids, leaks, and potential blow-offs are all possible when membranes are installed at temperatures below the manufacturer's recommendation, usually 45 degrees Fahrenheit. In addition, the membrane may be stiff and more difficult to keep in alignment. To avoid problems related to cold weather installation, monitor the temperature at time of application through the day and over the entire project duration. Do not install material when temperatures are questionable. Number 5, misalignment of the sheets. Proper alignment of the sheet is critical to seam integrity. Misalignment of the sheet can lead to improper seam width, voids, fish mouths, and wrinkles, all of which, if left unrepaired, may contribute to potential leaks. To maintain proper sheet alignment, unroll and position the membrane prior to the removal of the release liner. If the crew is experiencing difficulty in maintaining alignment, one tip to keep the rolls straight is to position the installers equally across the length of the membrane to maintain alignment. This helps protect the rolls from shifting during installation and will help assure straight installation and seam integrity. Number 6, failure to apply positive pressure. In many single-ply installations, silicone-coated rollers are used to assure good positive attachment of the membrane to the substrate. The importance of positive pressure in the installation of self-adhered TPO systems is critical. Both the field and the seam should be rolled to assure proper adhesion. Without the application of positive pressure, the installation is vulnerable to voids and even potential blow-off. A best practice recommendation is to use a weighted roller like a linoleum or lawn roller to create adhesion rather than a brooming method in the field of the roof, and to hand roll the seam with a silicone-coated roller. Number 7. Misidentification of T-joints at end laps. T-joints occur where three sections of membrane intersect. The buildup of membrane can create a void and leave a vulnerable area that, if left unprotected, becomes an avenue for leaks. A common mistake is to lose the actual T-joint when it is buried by an overlapping sheet. Often, the T-joint patch is then mistakenly placed at the end lap where two pieces of membrane intersect. To avoid missing the actual T-joint, cut the underlap of the end lap at a 45-degree angle to correctly identify the T-joint, and then ensure that a T-joint patch is installed over this joint. Number 8. Improper wall flashing height. Flashings are a vulnerable area in any roof system, and low flashings pose the same potential problems on self-adhered TPO systems as they do on more traditional applications. Leaks related to snow buildup, ponded areas, or other weather-related issues are a primary concern. In addition, a low flashing height may compromise warranty coverage from the manufacturer. In order to avoid these issues, follow NRCA guidelines, local code requirements, and the manufacturer's recommendations to assure flashings are an acceptable height. Number 9. Absence of primer. Preparation of metal flashings and membranes with primers or membrane conditioners is a standard practice in single-ply applications. Even self-adhered TPO membranes with pre-applied adhesives still require membrane priming at end laps and where self-adhered accessories are used. If metal flashings and membrane laps are not primed, waterproofing can be compromised as a result of poor adhesion or delamination. To avoid poor adhesion related to the absence of primer, be sure to read the manufacturer's instructions prior to installing the membrane. Best practice steps include an examination and cleaning of the membrane to remove any surface dirt prior to the application of primer, and, of course, allowing the primer to dry prior to membrane installation.